Ian, you have been working so hard this weekend. Thank you so much. It's the final day of the Ultimate RV Show National Tour, your final chance to get in. And I'll tell you what, you know what's interesting, Bryce, is as fast as these RVs, and they talk about 80,000 fresh from the factory RVs, as fast as they show up or come off the line, bam, somebody's putting their name on it, and it's sold that fast.
Yep, it's true. It's really hard to get the ones you want. So with the ones that you see here, if they interest you, text RV, guys. Jump on it. Text RV to 46642. Get moving on with this.
And your final chance to get on some of these deals. Now, you're going to see a Class A coming down the road, and we call it the Par-V, Bryce. I'm very excited about it. You'll know this picture when you see it. It'll say Camping World on one side. It'll say Sean Prime on the other, like this. So that's the shot I want you to look at down the road.
That is amazing.
It's going to be an amazing Forest River. Speaking of which, let's take a look at a Georgetown right now from the 7 Series.
Here we go, folks. Let's talk about some mid-size motorhomes. I mean, I guess mid-size is relative, right? I mean, this is actually a pretty big RV. You're looking at almost 38 foot. But when you can go up to 45, you know, some may consider this a mid-size, and I would probably agree. But it's definitely not mid-size on amenities, folks. When you're talking about gas RVs, this thing is absolutely amazing. I mean, it has the amenities of a diesel in a gas coach. And, you know, we're looking at, like I said, a little under 38 foot. Sleep 4 in here. As far as price point, folks, this one is starting under $175K. You're looking at $34.31 a day. Let's jump right into the floor plan. So, one of the things I always like to hit on right away, let's spin it right around and talk a little bit about the cab. If you're not familiar with Class A's, if you're new to Class A's, one of the things that people really love about Class A's is the fact that everything here is usable, right? These seats can spin around, and so you can utilize all of this space. It's not wasted space, which, you know, sometimes in Class C's, you don't get that, right? The seats don't spin around, but in pretty much every Class A, they absolutely will. You'll notice a couple other features. I mean, you'll have auto level right over to the side, right? Touch a button, levels it out. Super simple and easy to use. You can see your touch screen right up here. You know, everything on your dash, very easy to access, easy to use. You have some 12 volt as well as USB ports over here to the side. And for the passenger, take a look at that. That just flips right over. That way if you need to plug in like a laptop or anything, do some work, you can do it right from there. And if you take a look right down below, you'll see like a little doggy window, right? You got a little loved one that wants to travel with you, a little furry friend. They can hang out right up there and be able to see outside. So if you're out at the campsite and they're in here, you know, staying nice and cool in the AC, that allows them to do it. You'll also see that instead of carpet, right, this is a composite material, so that way it doesn't leave as many, it doesn't get dirty, right? Like the carpet, that's one of the things, if you notice some older Class A's, it's really dirty up here from everyone getting in and out. You don't have that right there. You'll also see the table. Now, you know, if you want a little table right here so you can spin that around, and then you have a spot where you can have a snack or something like that. Then you have the drop-down bed up top. This is something that came into Class A's a few years ago that I think really is a big game changer. It gives you that extra sleeping space, and you really would hardly even be able to tell it's up there, right? But it already has a mattress, just drops down, super simple, quick, and easy to use. The control for it is right here, and I'll show you. See, make sure it's on there. So then we just, oh, it might be. There we go. Let's undo it. Safety straps, right? I think it just has the one on there. Yeah. So then we're going to drop it down just like that, folks. And that's really all it takes. You just touch a button. Euro style loft drops down very easily. And we can see right here. There you go. So now you get the ladder, put it in right up there, you can climb up. The thing I really like about this is this mattress, as I said, can stay right there. So you can make this bed, and then if you have guests, really all you need to do is grab pillows, toss them up there, and you have an extra place for guests to sleep. Now, one of the things I love about this floor plan is just the general design and layout, and it just has a ton of seating. I like to entertain, and this 100% allows you to do it. I mean, you can see the dinette, and you know, you have like this really nice leatherette on here, super simple and easy to clean. And one of the things I really like, you'll notice, is it wraps around the back. So what you can do is you can just kind of slide right up here And you can use that as a backrest. And so that way, you know, if you're watching TV, you're talking to people on the sofa, everyone can kind of be engaged in that conversation. You have some cup holders here for when you're traveling down the road, seat belts in the dinette as you would expect, and this does drop down into additional sleeping space. Now, because this has the curve on the back, you're not going to use these back cushions to, you know, obviously to put on the table. There is a back cushion back in the bedroom that you'll throw on top of here to complete this as a sleeping space. You will also see right here, we have the theater seating. So you're like, well, Ian, that doesn't look like theater seating. It looks like one giant sofa, but take a look at this. And that's, you know, essentially what it is. But you have seat belts, which are great. You have the cup holders you can see on the ends. You have power footrest. It also lights up, has heat and massage. I mean, everything you can possibly want it has. And adjustable headrest, right? How cool is that? So you want to talk about getting comfy, this one definitely allows you to do that. And also take a look at this. We talked about theater seating. Boom, that drops down just like so. You have cup holders right here. Push the button, pop up. You have electrical outlets, USB ports, and you have not one, but two of those, right? So it really gives you a lot of versatility in what you can do with this space, you know, and if you just want to use one and you want to be here and here, you can absolutely do that, you know, be a little more comfortable. You want kind of like, you know, one big seat, you're able to do that as well. But again, I love the seating that they have in here, and it just really lends itself to entertainment. Beautiful woodwork all the way across the top. You know, we can open that up, strut supported, kind of take a look at the storage we have there. So we spin around and look at the kitchen, solid surface countertops as you would expect. You have that beautiful apron front sink. I like that it's actually rounded right here in the front. You know, it's kind of convex, which I like. It's just a little bit different than what we normally see. Double bowl undermount sink, high-rise faucet, plenty of storage underneath. Countertop extension. Might want to add that in there so you can pop that up super easily. Good drawer space, oven here. Your cooktop is recessed, and you have these solid surface covers on here as well. That is a 3-burner, 7,500 BTU per burner there on all 3 of them. Microwave convection oven, more storage across the top. Plenty of LED lighting all the way across the ceiling. You can see that everything stays nice and bright. Dual ducted AC and max air fan right here on the ceiling as well. So, you know, if you want to run the AC, great. If not, if you just want to run the fan, you can do that too. Open up some windows. You'll see that you have roller shades, as you would expect. And of course, you have your night shades, but then you also have day shades there too. So you will have both. Full residential refrigerator, LG, you know, name brand refrigerator in here, folks. This is really cool. You can see that this actually will open up like so. So if you need to get to your ice maker, it's tucked away right there, which is kind of cool. And then plenty of cold storage space in here. And then again, that ice will be located right there. So ice and water. Right down underneath, you can see plenty of freezer space built in here too. Really nice residential fridge. Again, it is nice and big. More storage across the top, that TV with your sound bar. You'll also notice the fireplace underneath, which not only looks great, but also is a space heater helping to take off the chill in this space. Now, one of the things I love about this floor plan, folks, the fact it is a bath and a half. And right in here, you can see your toilet, you know, plenty of room here. This one does have your water saver flush on there, so you have 2 different levels of flush. Over to the side, solid surface, the waterfall style faucet. It's really beautiful. You have your hand towel rod there. You know, basically everything you need here in a half bath. Your big mirrored medicine cabinet, plenty of lighting in here too. Now, if we go the other way, we can take a walk into the bedroom, and right in here again, you will see that you have a big master bedroom. So the bed, you'll notice, does recline up right there at the head. So if you want to read a book, something like that, makes it very easy to do that. Plenty of electrical outlets. This right here is that cushion I was referring to that you can drop down on top of that bed for additionals, or on top of that dinette for additional sleeping space. Big wardrobe space right in there. Now over here, you will see your stackable washer dryer. So if you want stackable washer dryer, boom folks, there you go. You are all set. TV in the center, more storage all the way throughout here. I mean, it is storage galore. One of the big other things I love about this floor plan though is right up here, and that is the fact, if we take a look in here, folks, you will see that you have the master bath, and you have the dual vanity, which I know a lot of people love. Again, that waterfall style faucet storage, really good mirrored medicine cabinet, 1-piece residential shower right over here. Not sure if you can sneak around in here, Kev. I'll take a step in here just to show everyone, right? So as far as height, I mean, I have plenty of height with that skylight. I'm 6 foot tall. I could be, shoot, probably 6'7", 6'8". You have the seat built in, so if you want to sit down, you can, or, you know, if you just want to shave your legs, makes it nice and easy to do that too. You can see the hand wand right here with the bar. It has a bar on there too. That way you can kind of set that and adjust it to whatever height you want. Absolutely gorgeous on the inside of the 36D. And again, I personally love this floor plan. I think it's a great layout. It lends itself well to a couple, but it allows for a lot of entertainment, and you get that additional sleeping space in here, which I personally really enjoy. And as we take a step outside, take a look at some of these features. I mean, we'll start right up front. This one is running. I mean, you can barely hear it, but this is the new Ford F53 chassis. It has the V8 engine in there, of course. You can see the giant one-piece window. Absolutely beautiful. Big windshield wipers on there, making our way around to the side. You will see your mirrors here. Down underneath are your side view cameras. So that way, as soon as you turn on the blinker, you can see what's gonna run down the side, make sure that makes it nice and easy to switch lanes, right? Help cover your blind spots. 22.5-inch tires, Alcoa rims. I know that's a big one for a lot of people. And then, you know, the 22.5s obviously are what most people want when you're talking about a bigger gas Class A. You can see your TV right outside here, entertainment system. You have the speakers. This one is upfitted by MoreRide. You can see your bank of batteries located right in here. Moving back a little bit, I absolutely love this one. See if we can grab that. There, oh, maybe. Yep. Sorry, folks, give me just a second here. There we go. So we open this one up. You can see all the big storage. I really love this this compartment. I think it's pretty cool just because it really allows you to have a lot larger items. A lot of times you'll have a divider right here and you just can't get quite as much in there. But if you see, not only do you have this huge storage, but take a look up top. You have all that pass-through storage there. They used a bigger structure, a bigger I-beam to give you that pass-through, and that is great storage for a lot of those bigger items. Again, I love that that's up there. It's rotocast, so it's super easy to clean. You can take a hose and just wash this out. There's a drain right down there, so that way all the water drains out naturally. So I love, love, love that storage compartment. You'll also see some hookups right here, right? Your standard power, HDMI port, 12 volt, everything you need right there. I mean, folks, talking about storage, I mean, look at this. You know, that's one of the things people love about Class A's, just huge storage. Another big one, this is the 7 Series. This is the top dog when we're talking about Georgetown. And you can see the beautiful full body paints on there. So this coach will stay looking just as nice as it does today. 10, 15 years from now, you can see the frameless windows, power awnings on there, slide toppers. This one's got it all, folks. If you're looking for a beautiful Class A, the 36D right here is absolutely one of them. And all you have to do, folks, to claim this one is text the word RV to 46642 to lock in that price of $174,995.
Ultimate RV Show National Tour. What's up? It's Chris Young back with my friends, us, the Remingtons, and the Jergies.
Hello.
So, guys, we both had a chance to chat a little bit about some questions that people who have viewed the Ultimate RV Show National Tour wanted to ask. And there are so many. It's been overwhelming. People they know 2021 is going to be the year of RV travel. Mm-hmm. They know you guys do it full time. You do it full time. They wanted to ask some more questions, so I decided let's just get both you guys up here and let's hit it. More questions about the kids. You had given us some really good tips. But one of the ones that wanted to be asked was, what about tips for multiple kids when you're on the road? What are some good tips and tricks?
Oh, I feel like it's a little bit of a toughie because we have a 3-year-old and a 9-month-old. But what would you say? What pops to your mind?
Depending on their age, if they are older and you can have communication with them, I would start the day or the beginning of a trip when you're going to a location asking, what's the one thing you want to do? And in that way, no matter, because things are going to go wrong, things are going to take too long. One day, one kid's not going to be feeling it. But if you all do the one thing everyone wants to, it's a win.
Right.
And you can talk about that and plan accordingly for it. So that's important. And then if they're babies,
Right, you just take them along. Yeah. Now, one of the other questions that came in was, how do you keep the peace between the kids? Now, granted, being 1, being 3, that there's, the peace is kind of easy. You just take one to the other room, but.
Yeah, I mean, having things to look forward to, like going back to that, help a lot. Mm-hmm. But then also using the outdoors. That's what I love about RVing. The space is smaller when you're inside, but the outdoors is endless. You can move it to somewhere, and getting outdoors always helps everyone to chill out. Go on a hike. They have alone time, but you're still together, you know?
Right.
You guys remember the Flipping Tilbies? They helped us in Kansas and Utah. I actually was just talking to her yesterday, and I said, how do you do it? She's at a campsite right now. I'm like, how do you do it with 5 kids? And she goes, they're outside all day. That's how I do it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, duh.
How great is
this
that,
is why
though?
we do this lifestyle.
Yeah, how great is
Forgot.
that? Now, Tiff and Caleb, same thing, but for pets. What are some tips for traveling with pets?
I mean, I feel like it's not really far off of what y'all were saying, too. Being outside, and we talked a little bit earlier, too. If we're going to go on a long trip, we make sure to tire Oso out, a.k.a. bring him on set and let Sean Parr or
Right,
everyone
yeah.
else just rustle him in toys, or going on a hike or just being outside. But yeah, I think there's pretty much everything that you guys have for the kiddos is really what we do with Oso. He's really good. We're very lucky because, again, Oso's been well-traveled. We put him on a plane like at 10 weeks old, so
He's a good kid.
he is a good kid.
He is a good kid.
He is.
We are so blessed to learn from you guys. We got a little one on the way, so we're just soaking up all the knowledge. We are so excited to bring one into the world. But our furry little friend, he's been a good traveler since day one. And so getting him acclimated to a car, to an RV was crucial. And so I think it was 6 weeks after we first got him, he was on a plane.
Right.
So.
Well, and that actually brings up another question somebody wanted to ask. You know, with you being pregnant, as I like to say, the vessel of life,
Yeah.
how has that
you.
changed what you do when you travel? Are there any things that you've accompanied or anything that you've encountered while traveling and RVing that's more difficult than normal?
I mean, honestly, what's been nice traveling in a motorhome was having the bathroom right on board.
Right.
So
Right.
it was a pretty rough first trimester for me. So I would just pop on back, and it's not like anything Caleb had to do any different. So, but no, I think we're very lucky too that we've just been doing this for a while. So we know not to create that many expectations and also just go with the flow and not have these set plans, which
Right.
RV life, that's what RV life gives you. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, you don't have to be somewhere. Like, your next destination is where you want it to be.
Right.
And if that goes back to the question, what's the one thing you want to do when you ask your kids? Try to help them focus on experiencing versus like, I want to get here. Because
love
that's something you can't control, but it's like, I want to enjoy time with my siblings, or I want to draw or color or whatever. Something that you can control even when everything else goes wrong.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, and then last question, because we've had so many come through. If you had one thing that you absolutely have to take with you when you're RVing for somebody who's looking to get into it, what would it be? Tiff and Caleb, hit me.
I already know you. Can I just answer for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
The grill.
Did you know that? Gotta bring the grill.
Got to bring the grill.
Your grill. Yeah, your
Nellie
grill.
Bryce. I mean, you know, beside the beatbox mic, what would it be?
That, a grill, a hammock, outdoor
Hammock.
chairs, you know.
Something to just sit back and entertain with. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for leaving us questions on all the social media platforms for Camping World and Gander RV and Outdoors. We got more with the Ultimate RV Show National Tour next.
We talk about mid-sized motorhomes, and I think right about 32 foot makes sense. And that's what we got here, folks. Looking at 32 foot, 3 inches in this beautiful Class C built for a family. This is the 2021 Forester LE 3251DS. And the cool thing about this one, folks, is that you can sleep up to 8 and have up to 8 passengers safely ride thanks to all of the seatbelts. This is a really cool floor plan. They do something unique back in the bunks we'll take a look at in just a moment. But again, there is absolutely a lot to love about this RV. Coming at 32 foot 3 inches, right, it's short enough that you can still fit in most spaces. If you're new to RVing, a lot of times when you start getting over that 36 foot mark, you have to call and make sure they have special places, because most RV parks or most places you go only have so many spots that are longer than 36 foot. So being that 32 foot mark, you can easily get everywhere. And again, you can sleep and carry 8, which is awesome. So part of that is going to be right up top, right? It's a Class C. One of the big things to identify a Class C if you're new to RVing is this right here, which is the cab over bed. And so, you know, going down the road, it's very easy to spot a Class C here. And this can easily sleep 2 people, 440-pound weight capacity right up here too, which is pretty good. It's not the highest, you know, I mean, there are some manufacturers that have, you know, 500, 600, but there's also some that are definitely less. So 440 is kind of right in that, that in between. You will see the TV right over here. So this will be your main TV in this RV. It flips right around. You have a great view to that, whether you're sitting in the dinette or if you're sitting on the sofa, which we'll see in just a second. And of course, if you're gonna be sleeping up top, that is a perfect place for it. You also have a privacy curtain here. Right underneath is the cab. This one is built on the Ford chassis. You can see that. And this is, of course, you know, the newer Ford chassis with that, the newer V8 in there. This is kind of cool. Take a look right here in your rear view. Right, so you have your backup cameras and everything right in your rear view mirror. And the reason I like that is it's a lot more reminiscent of what most people have for their daily driver. You know, a lot of times, you know, when you're looking to back up, you naturally look to your rear view mirror. Well, in an RV, when you look at a rear view, you generally don't see much right behind you if it's just a regular mirror. So by having that right there, you look as you're backing up, it feels a lot more natural, at least to me, to look to the rear view and then kind of look on both mirrors on the side. And that's kind of what they intended with that right there. On the camp side is your dinette. And I love when manufacturers give you a campside dinette. Why, you may ask? Well, for this reason right here. I get to sit right here, having my morning cup of coffee, eating my breakfast, and I get to look out at my campsite, right? And I'm sure, you know, if you've been camping before, you can feel me on that, right? Like, you want to be able to look out here. I do have a big window out to the side, but, you know, do I want to necessarily look out at my neighbors and see whatever they're doing walking around? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're your friends, maybe you want to check it out, but this really is the site that I want. This table does drop down too, and this is one of your sleeping spaces. Now, might be a little tight for an adult, right? But it does work if you have a smaller child or if someone wants to curl up a little bit. This is one of your 8 sleeping spaces. The other thing I like, take a look at that, folks. Huge, easy access, full extension drawers there. Makes it very easy to access whatever you store down there. For me, this is my preferred type of dinette storage, is having a big drawer. Why, you ask? Well, if you have a door that swings open, you still have to get down on your hands and knees to get in there. With this, I just pull it open, boom. Everything I need is easily accessible right at my fingertips. You'll also see 2 seatbelts here, right? That's part of our 8 riders. So you can have 2 people very comfortably sitting at the table, riding down the road, everyone having great conversation. You'll take a look up top. You can see storage all the way up there. Your multimedia center will be here, as well as all your speaker zones, HDMI input there. More importantly, there's one right over here, so that way you can put a Blu-ray player up there and be able to watch movies on the TV up front. Across the way, more storage overhead. What I do want to point out is the fact that it is one-hand operation, right? You lift it up and it stays right where it needs to, so you can get up here and grab whatever you want. You don't have to hold it up with your hand, which, you know, when you're paying a little bit more, it's what you expect. And you can also see that it's not necessarily strut, but it's actually, you know, kind of has the slow close hinges on there. So a little bit more upgraded. They're not going to slam down on you when you go to shut them. And I really like that, because it can be, you know, very disturbing, especially if you're trying to sleep, need to get up there and all of a sudden slam, wakes everyone up. Not going to have to worry about it here in the Forester LE. Dropping right down is your sofa. 2 seatbelts here as well for 2 more riders. And again, right, this is going to be a little more intimate. This is in a slide out, and so this whole thing will slide in, so you'll be pretty close to whoever is sitting in the dinette. So everyone's going to be able to have conversation together, which is great, and still be able to talk to the people up front. Plus, take a look at this. You want theater seating? That drops down just like this. You already have the armrest on the side. You can have a couple beverages right there. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm riding somewhere, this is the seat I want to ride in here. This is super comfortable. Up top, I have an LED light strip here lighting everything up, which is great. And then if we take a look a little bit further over here into the kitchen, you can see you kind of have a divided kitchen. So right here is your recessed cooktop with a glass cover, 3-burner cooktop. Underneath that, convection microwave oven, some storage here as well. Underneath the sink, plenty of room for a trash can. I love when manufacturers do that. Couple of drawers, electrical outlet, upgraded countertops, which allow for an undermount stainless steel bowl. They went with a round bowl here. A little bit more of an interesting choice. I'm not sure if I love it, but you know, I I guess it's nice from the standpoint it does give you more countertop space right over to the side, right? Rather than having like a big rectangle bowl that would fill this whole space. So they probably did it so you still have countertop space and it is a deep bowl. It's still a high-rise pull-out faucet. Over to the side you have wireless charging so you can drop your phone right there and it will charge it up. And there it goes, starting to charge. You also see countertop extension over to the side, which I absolutely love this, right? Giving you a little more countertop, a little more prep space. Storage right up top there. Now, let's come to the back, because this is where things start getting kind of interesting. This right here is a TV built for the bunks. So kids that are right here can watch TV. If they want to watch their tablet, that's great. They just hold it, they watch it, good to go. You will also see they have little nets right up here. So if they need a place to put their phone and something like that, they can put it right up there. A little bit of storage on top and below that TV. Also, it is worth mentioning, you have this right here. If you need to close this off for privacy to the front, you can do that. So you have that one there. You also have, there it is. So you have the curtain for each bunk here, and you have the slider door that closes off so that you have, the privacy from the bunks to the bedroom. So lots of different ways to kind of divide up the space. Now, bunk obviously up top. This, of course, folds up and locks into place just like so. Put it up here for just a second, and what you will see is right down underneath is a sofa. The thing that is very unique is that you have 2 more seat belts here. And this is something that I just really haven't seen. And I personally love this because, if you have the capability to sleep 8, you want to be able to take 8 people with you, and that's what this allows you to do. Now, you're definitely a little more segregated than from up front, and this is a slide, so this will come in a little bit, so you will kind of be facing a wall. So it's probably not the most comfortable ride in the world for a long trip, but I like the idea that you at least have the option here. I think that's pretty great. And of course, this does drop down into a bed as you would expect. It's a jackknife sofa, so just folds up, drops down, gives you that additional sleeping space there. Why don't you come on in here a second, Kev? We'll open up the bathroom door, show everyone the bathroom, so you can take a look right in here. Actually, I'm going to sneak in here first, Kevin. I'm sorry, buddy. Let me sneak in. I just want to show people the height, right? Because this is one of the things I always like to do. So if I stand in the shower right here with that skylight, folks, I'm 6 foot tall. I could easily be 6'2" and still be able to stand in here and shower. I have the hand wand I can grab to make showering a little bit easier. I have some shelving here, and it's a tub. So if you want to give the kiddos a bath, you can absolutely do that. You'll also see the shower kind of screen door right here, so that nice and easy to use. You just latch it like that when you're done. Wind it right back up. Cool thing about that is it's mold resistant, so you can just wind it right back up. You don't have to worry about anything molding. Huge countertop space in here, which I love. You have good storage space, big mirrored medicine cabinet. If I sit on this toilet, show you this real quick, porcelain bowl. I have plenty of leg room, great shoulder space here too. I am good. Now when I walk up into the bedroom, you have storage all along the foot of the bed. Wardrobes on both sides. TV hookup in here if you do want TV. Storage all the way down. You'll see the queen bed here in the back. You have nightstands, more storage up top as well as on the side, and windows both as kind of like a headboard and right here in the back, really helping to let in a lot of natural light and really opening this space up, which I absolutely love. Let me get that door for you a second here, buddy. And then as we walk back out, the one thing I do want to hit on, make sure we don't miss, is the fridge. That'll be located right over to this side. This is a 12-volt refrigerator, folks, so it just runs off your battery, which is awesome because, you have a generator on board. Fire that bad boy up, and it is good to go. So we take a step outside real quick. A couple things that are very important that I want to point out. Battery disconnect, so you can flip that, kill all power to the RV. Solar controller, this one has solar, folks. It already comes with it, so it is powering those batteries, which again will help power that fridge. And the big one is this one right here. That is auto level on a Class C, folks. Straight from the manufacturer. You don't have to have it done third party. You turn it on, touch a button, and it will level the coach out. Of course, there's manual options there too if you need to adjust it a little bit, but that is a huge option to have on a Class C. This one is built on the Ford E450 chassis. You can see one of the things I really like about this, and kind of one of the things that will help you notate if it's a higher end Class C is this. That's the fact it has a front cap on there, right? So what that does for you is it helps bring the seal around to the side. So that way as the wind, you're driving down the road and all that wind and the rain that's blasting in right here isn't gonna penetrate the seal. It has to wrap around, make its way back in, which just isn't going to happen. Coming back a little bit further, of course, the mirrors extend out past the body so you can see as you're going down the road here. You have the power awning. Those have the Solaris speakers built built in, so when they're extended, you can have the music play right down on your campsite. You'll also see side view cameras, right? So again, you turn on the blinker, you're able to see those blind spots and make sure that you're not going to hit anything, more importantly, anyone. Good storage. It's one of the great things about, Class Cs. They may not have quite as much as a Class A, but you can see running all the way down here, you have those rotocast bins. Excellent storage right there, running all the way down. You can take a look and see for yourself that, the rotocast works great. You can open up the drain plug there and, again, have everything drain out. Now, folks, as you can tell, this is an absolutely gorgeous Class C. This one is starting at $95,995 for the show, so under $96,000. That's as little as $19.20 a day. Here's the great thing, folks. If you already have a deal running on one of these and you're like, oh man, that's a better deal than what I have. Here's the great thing. You text the word BEAT, B-E-A-T, to 46642. And if we can't beat the deal you currently have going on, we'll give you $1,000. That's an awesome deal. If you love this Class C, or maybe you like the idea of a Class C, but you want something that's a little bit lower price point, we have those available too. Simply text the word FRESH to 46642.
Ian, I say yes, my man. I say yes. Give us some more storage on that Class C, my man.
Can never have enough storage.
Listen, Class Cs, whatever it is, again, if you have any questions, all you do is text RV to 46642. Ultimate giveaway time right now. We've got a
Favorite
lot of
time
them.
here.
I just remind everybody, this is the last chance to enter 4 giveaways, so make sure you text URVS to 46642. We have a few more giveaways coming up, so
Including a motorhome.
please
Yes,
register.
indeed. Oh, and the Olympics are coming up, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get ready for those. Here's the deal. We've got 3 $50 gift cards like that. Bam! Who are our winners?
We got James Teague.
James T, congratulations.
We got Jennifer Kuhn
Jennifer, JC.
and Janet Pedrati.
Janet Pedrati.
Hopefully we said that right,
I
Janet.
know, sorry if we
Love
didn't.
that a lot. Text URVS
Congrats, guys.
to 46642. It's that simple. And
simple.
Ian has been on fire today, has he not?
Yes,
Yep.
he has.
Going
Always,
from
always is.
unit to unit to unit. Let's see another great looking motorhome right now. Take it away, Ian.
Folks, one of the things I truly love about the RV industry is how you can have 2 brands, 2 models, 2 floor plans that are so similar, and yet there definitely are big differences. And this is exactly what we have here. So we saw the Forester LE, and if you're like, man, I like everything about it, maybe there was something, maybe it was woodwork, maybe something just wasn't quite feeling, but you love the overall floor plan, well, maybe this one will strike you a little bit differently, right? Because this is the Nexus Triumph 32T. And as we go through, you will see it is a very similar floor plan, but again, there definitely are going to be some subtle differences. And that's the great thing about the RV industry, folks, because it's that way with so many different RVs, not just motorhomes. We're talking travel trailers, fifth wheels, no matter what it is, we will have that. And the cool thing about that is we have the knowledge. If there's so much out there that sometimes it can be a little daunting when you're jumping in to the RV lifestyle. If this is your first time, I've seen people do it, right? Where they will go to dealership after dealership after dealership, and by the end they're just tired. They're tired of looking. They're worn down. They no longer understand what they want. Everything starts looking the same, and before they know it, they just sign on the dotted line and they have an RV that may not necessarily be for them, right? And 2 years down the road, they're like, oh, well, I guess this wasn't quite what we wanted. Then they trade in and get something else. But why go through all that, folks? It's so much easier. All you have to do is text the word FRESH to 46642. Not only will that give you access to the over 20,000 pieces of inventory we have here on our lots, but also the 80,000 pieces of inventory we have on order. And more importantly, it puts you in touch with a specialist that is able to walk you through all the different RVs. If you're in it, you can tell them, well, I want a Class C. I want it to be able to sleep 5 people. I want it to be able to make sure I have a spot for ride for so many people. I want this colored wood, whatever it may be. We can help narrow that down. We can help you help make sure that you find the perfect RV for you. And so here we go, right? We're going to kind of do a little bit of difference. And again, we'll kind of compare and contrast a little bit between what we had in the Forester and what we have right here in the Triumph. And just so you know, folks, very similar. This one is 32 foot 9 inches in length. Price, we're looking at this one starting at $98,995 or $19.80 a day. So pretty comparable all around. If we take a look up front, you can see right here the bed, right? So nice thick mattress on here. This simply folds over. Pretty simple and easy, boom, just like that. Now you have that bed space right up top. Now the TV, you will see, moved a little bit. right? Instead of being up here in the bunk, it moved a little bit to kind of over part of the dinette. And so you're able to see that, which, you might lose a little bit of storage, but you still have, 2 up top, a little bit different light fixture here. Your window dressing is different too. It has a little bit, I don't know, like a cloth pattern all the way around it. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. As for the dinette, you can take a seat right here. Folks, I'm telling you, this is comfortable, right? As far as RV furniture goes, this is a very comfortable seat. I like that they kind of finished it along the side here with some soft goods, right? And that's, they kind of use that same material. This table, of course, does drop down into a bed. It's a dream style dinette. You just flip the lever here and that pushes down. Some cup holders right there for when you're riding along the road. Across the way is a sofa, seat belts here as you would expect. And again, very comfortable furniture, cleans up nice and easy too. LED light up top, storage all the way across the top there. I do like this. I think this is kind of cool. Adds just a little bit there, the Nexus symbol. Roller shades, I like that they went with beige personally over black, just because at nighttime, when you pull these down, just like so, what you get is, for me, it's just a little bit lighter. At nighttime, when I close these down, normally if they're black, as we all know, right, black just kind of like absorbs light. And so it tends to feel a little more closed in. When it's the beige, for me, it feels a lot brighter. Another thing you will notice is if we take a look up top at the LED lights, we have 2 LED lights in a big row. If we notice in the Forester LE, there was 1 row of light. So, even though it's a little bit darker woodwork in here, it does feel nice and bright thanks to the 2 rows of LED lights. Moving over to the side, very similar in our kitchen space, right? We have the 3-burner cooktop, folds up and back just like so. You can see the backsplash on there. It also wraps around to the side. I love that they did that. They kind of gave it a side splash. Plus, you can see this piece of glass here, so that way you don't have grease and stuff popping onto your sofa. You can still clean that up nice and easy. Now, you will notice they give you a, right up top here is your microwave oven. And so in lieu of being underneath, instead they give you storage. So we open that up. Take a look at how big that storage is, folks. You have huge storage right down there, 2 big drawers, 3 drawers over here for your flatware, towels, whatever else you need. And then you'll notice the countertop space. We open this up. For me, this is a little bit smaller sink, right? So instead of going with the circle like we had, you'll see that they went with a double bowl. And as you can clearly see, it did cut down a lot of countertop space. I personally I think I would actually rather take the single bowl just because it was a lot deeper. This is a little bit shallow. You can't fit a ton in there. But again, it's going to be personal preference. It's whatever you decide you like. Right over to the side here, you kind of have a hidden electrical outlet as well as USB ports. If you need to plug anything in, that is one of the places you can do it. And you will also see that you don't have the countertop extension, right? So a little bit less countertop space here in the Nexus. Storage right up top, control panel right over to the side. Now, you still have the 12-volt electric refrigerator. This one is GE branded. I believe the other one had the Magic Chef and the Forester, and I don't know if name brand means anything to you or not, but just so you know, there again, a little bit of a difference. AC unit right up top. That one does have the quick dump option as you'd expect, so it can quickly just dump all that cool air out and cool everything down. Now, as we walk back into the bunk area, and again, we start to see some differences. One of them you'll see right away is that there's no TV back here. And if that's a big deal for you, then maybe you'll lean a little bit the other way. You will also notice at the bottom is a traditional bunk rather than having the sofa with seatbelts. So you can't ride quite as many people in here, and it's going to be the fixed bed instead of the jackknife sofa. You still have privacy curtains. You will also see electrical outlet and USB ports. So it's built a little bit more, if the kids have like a tablet, cell phone, something like that, they have to lean a little bit more into that for entertainment rather than having the TV. Underneath is drawer space though. So easier access, in my opinion, rather than having a jackknife sofa that lifts up. You can see all the drawer space right there. I also like right down here, I know this is kind of minor, watch your step there, Kev, but I do like right there the fact that you have a little courtesy light. So that way, if you have to get up in the middle of the night and use the bathroom, whether it's yourself or the kids or someone up front, it A, helps light up that little step right there to make sure you don't fall or trip coming up, and B, again, it just kind of helps light up this area in general in case you need to head right in here into the bathroom. So Let me turn the light on here. Oh, whoops, there we go. So we take a step in here. So, you know, again, you have the light right up there. You also have a little kind of light underneath the countertop here. So you can kind of see the accent light. As for the toilet, you know, porcelain bowl. I still have pretty good space thanks to the cutout. Big countertop here, you know, storage right underneath. You will see the medicine cabinet up top. Good storage over to the side here too. I do like that. Then if we take a step in the shower, now you'll notice we no longer have a tub, right? Now we have a shower only. So again, if that's gonna be a big deal to you, maybe you want the tub instead of the shower, maybe you prefer a shower over a tub. A little bit different style door here as well. You can see that, you know, this one does bow out, so you get a little bit more room to turn around, which can be nice. As for height, if you're any taller than 6'1", you're probably gonna max it out and have to bend down a little. If we take a look in the bedroom, we'll see a pretty similar setup here. You have wardrobes on both sides, a spot to mount the TV. I do like this, the fact that it already came with it. You know exactly where it goes. And if we lift this up, you'll see it is strut supported. Your connections will be right in the back, and I like that you have all this space for any auxiliary equipment. So you can put it all right in there, your Blu-ray player, whatever, run your HDMI cable right through here, hook it up, and you're good to go. Storage all the way around. You lose the window on the back, but you still have the window right there up top. Storage all the way across the top, and then more storage on both sides of the bed. So, as you can see, folks, there's definitely going to be some differences when we're talking about, you know, similar RVs, and as you would expect. But what I want to kind of take away from this, right, is the fact that we're here to help, and all you have to do to be able to get that assistance is text that word FRESH to 46642 or put it in the comments section below, and that way we know we can have a specialist reach out to you and just kind of help you through the process. Whether, you know, you've done a lot of research and you have very specific questions on, you know, what is the length of the bunk? Well, they can take a tape measure and they can measure it out for you, right? And they can do just what I'm doing right now, but they can do it live and have that customization for you to make sure it's going to be perfect for you. And that's if you're a little bit further along in the process. If you're just starting out, that's great. They can help you out too, help narrow down some of those choices and find out what's going to be right for you, your family, and your needs. So we take a step outside here. So what we'll go up front. So I'll start right here. One of the things you will notice, this one does have the Azdel composite panels. I personally like Azdel. What that does for you is instead of having the Luan behind this fiberglass, it has the Azdel. And one that's going to be lighter weight, which, you know, anytime we're talking RVs, you can take out weight. That's always a good thing. Another big benefit to that is the fact it's a green material, so you won't have off-gassing. And probably the biggest one, the one that sticks with a lot of people, is the fact that it doesn't absorb moisture. So, you know, if you have like water that gets in your sidewall and you have Luan, you'll start to see a bunch of bubbles on the sidewall because that Luan will actually start to separate. You won't have that with Azdel. Now, just like we had on the Forester, folks, right there, you have that beautiful front cap, and I really like this one. It looks really sharp. You have that Nexus RV tagged right there too. This is also on the Ford E450 chassis. As we know, it has the new, 7.3 liter V8 in there. And if you haven't driven that V8, I'm telling you folks, that thing has way more pep in its step than the V10 did. So, that V10, as we all know, is like, 30, 35 years old and hadn't been touched. And they kept putting it in every RV. This V8 is not only a little bit more fuel efficient, but more importantly, it has a lot more powerful, and it'll really get you there in a hurry, which is great. Making our way back a little bit further. Propane, nice and easy to access. You'll see that right there. Come on back a little further. We have the power awning. You will also see this slide out topper, a little bit more storage. Now, one of the things you'll notice, there's not quite as much storage on the camp side compared to what we had on the Forester LE, right? But if you take a look right back here, you do have the pass-through. So if you have some bigger items, that may be a big benefit to you. Now, folks, again, as I mentioned, when you're out there, you're shopping for RVs, let us help you. That's what that keyword FRESH is for. Just text that to 46642. If, however, anytime during this show you see one and you're like, that is the one I want to lock in that show pricing, I know right now, all you have to do is text the word RV to 46642 to lock in that show pricing. And folks, you can get out there and start RVing and seeing the U.S. the safest way possible.
Hi, I'm Derek.
I'm Everett. I'm Audrey. I'm Ava.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Owen.
And we're Lanes Less Traveled. We hit the road in December of 2018, and we've been to 18 national parks all over the country, and we've utilized this time to bring learning alive for our kids.
And today's RV pro tip is incorporating road schooling into your RV road trips.
All right, guys, let's go read.
Yay!
So we've been on the road schooling for 2 years, almost 2 years now.
Yep.
And it's just sort of been an extension of how we were doing life already. We just get changing scenery, which is pretty awesome. One of the things that's super important to us is to keep our environment, like inside our rig, learning friendly. One thing that's always been important to us as we've homeschooled over the years is to have lots of books available. And one of our priorities when we hit the road was that there was a weight allotment for books because it's so important to us. And so we have nooks and crannies that we stick books in.
Yeah, you get creative.
You get super creative in rigs because
space is limited.
Space is limited. Our advice is to take a period of deschooling and realize and recognize that if you're pulling your child from a traditional school setting to homeschooling on the road, learning,
huge transition.
It's a big transition, and to embrace what it is and to really get creative and understand that learning is not going to just solely be coming from a textbook anymore. Learning is going to be where you're parked, who you're around, the city that you're visiting, or whatever. Our top tips for incorporating our learning on the road is definitely pre-research where you're going to go. Find books on those subjects about like the plant life or the animal life, the history. The history is really cool because you can learn about the people who originally lived there. Just really dive in and get to know the history of the area that you're visiting. Everybody's usually up by about 9, and so we all come to the couch, get breakfast, and we're A-okay if they're in their pajamas, and we do some reading together. So the subjects that we do at family style, so we're all learning together. We read those subjects together aloud, and then once those are wrapped up, usually we'll let them have like a wiggle break. And usually we're done with school by about lunchtime. Oftentimes when people go to a new area, they just automatically think museums. Let's go to a museum and learn. But there are so many national parks, state parks, historical sites.
Yeah, for sure. You can get history in a museum, but there's history everywhere if you go and actually really investigate the history of a site, even a location you're at. You can find gobs of information that you may not find in a book by just talking to locals or going to visitor centers. The advantage to learning on the road for them has been that things just come alive. But if you can talk about something while you're looking at it, while you're taking a walk through the woods down a path and just examine the different trees, and it's going to keep their attention way more than just looking at a book or even looking at pictures in a book.
I think when people start homeschooling, they're like, well, this is the curriculum, and this week it says we have to do this. But if you can set that aside and let that go and sort of follow your child's interests, again, it brings learning alive. We're pretty passionate about homeschooling and keeping our kids at home just because we've seen the fruit of that. We have our oldest is a homeschool graduate, and we've seen kind of the fruit in her life of she still loves to learn. We recognize it's not for every family just because it doesn't fit the style of every family, but if you even think that it could fit the style of your family at all, no regrets. This is... Our kids don't have a desire to go to a traditional school because they're like, why would we? We get to do this for our school? This is awesome. Make sure to check out other RV Pro Tip episodes to take your RV knowledge to the next level.
We are
Lanes Less Traveled.
Off to our next adventure.
Bye!
And here we go. This one right here, folks, is near and dear to my heart, right? Because it's something that's a little more affordable, and we're looking at a Class A. A lot of times people think of a Class A and they're just like, whoa, it's way out of my budget, right? There's no way. But what you will find out is this one we're in right now, which is a 2021 Thor Freedom Traveler A27, is actually remarkably close in price to some of the Class Cs that we've seen just a little bit ago. So this one, folks, is starting at $109,995, which is $22 a day. So When we look at, like the Georgetown, right, which, is a little north of, a little south, I should say, of 200, right, for the show, something like this, you're looking at almost half the cost. And you still get a ton of amenities in here, which is one of the reasons I love it. You're getting into that Class A chassis. You're getting, some of the storage outside. We're getting that generator, the sleeping capability, the big, beautiful windshield. One of the reasons so many people love Class A's. We'll get to the cab in a second. I want to kind of hit some of this other stuff first, starting right here with the kitchen. And I think they did a pretty good job. One of the things you'll notice right away is right above the sink is the TV. And I think this is great placement because we'll see in a little bit, it's right across from the sofa. And so I just kind of want to hit that right away because I think that, there's really probably the best spot to be able to put it in this layout. You will also see an actual tile backsplash. Just because this is more of an entry-level Class A price doesn't necessarily mean we have to have entry-level amenities. You still want it to be nice, and that's exactly what they've done. You'll notice, nice-looking countertop here. You have the double bowl stainless steel sink, pull-out faucet, Over to the side, 3-burner cooktop. This is recessed. You have the glass cover on here, just flips up and back just like so. Light up knobs if you're into it. Underneath is the oven if you want to do a little bit of baking. Plus, you'll see there's storage underneath. You'll also notice some drawers. Now, this one doesn't fully come out because it would interfere with the sink, so they kind of cut the drawer down a little bit, which I think is pretty smart. And then when we drop down more, you can see then you will get the full extension drawers there, the full size. This bottom one also, folks, is nice and deep. Take a look at this too. Underneath the sink, you have big storage, plenty of room there for a trash can, which I love. You can access that from either side. Electrical outlet in here, storage all the way across the top, plus our microwave right next to that. Coming in a little bit further, we'll open this guy up. This, of course, is the fridge freezer. You can take a look at that, nor cold. You can see that there is plenty of cold storage in this guy. This is another thing that's pretty cool. This one comes with the WineGuard Connect 2.0. So if you want to be able to have internet anywhere you go, I know that more and more that connectivity is becoming more and more crucial, especially as people are working on the road. This one has the ability, you can get the 4G LTE signal. It does come with a monthly fee with that as well, which has of course nothing to do with us. It's something completely separate. I believe it goes through AT&T on that one, but with that, you're able to have internet. As long as you can get 4G LTE signal where you're at, you will have the internet right here in the coach, which can definitely help a lot of people for connectivity. Storage right up top there. Good mirror space. When I take a look at this, it's not necessarily full length, but when I'm right here and I look, I can see from, the tip of my hair right here all the way down to my shoes. Now, I do have to kind of get up on my tippy toes to see the front of my shoes, but still, that's pretty darn good for what we have. The fact that I can almost get, full length mirror right here is pretty darn impressive. When I open that up, I just want to show you, of course, boom, there it is, folks. Big storage space, which I love. You also have a storage spot for your table, and I'll show you where that table goes right up front in a little bit. But I love having the big wardrobe, a couple big drawers down below. You can see how deep those are, right? So you can really stack a lot of items in there. It's a lot of underwear right there, Kevin. Tell you what. Coming back into the bedroom, privacy curtain, so you can close that off. And what you'll notice is instead of having it come straight across, and you do have that, right, a door right here. So if you want, privacy from everyone else, you want to close the bedroom space off, you can. But if you have additional guests, you will use the curtain so that way they can still access the bathrooms. You'll see the curtain goes right here so we can get into the bathroom, and I'll show you that in just a second. But I wanted to point that out that you do have a couple different options for privacy. Your bed, of course, will be right in the back here. You have some shelves, some nightstands, USB ports built in, storage all the way across the top, window right here in the back, and there's a TV located right there. So if you want to watch TV while you're in bed, you can do that. Before we go in the bathroom, I guess I'll show you this real quick too, more storage. Now, you have options for what you want this storage to be, right? If you want it to be more clothes, you can do that. Maybe you want it to be a linen closet. You want a space to put your towels, you can do that here as well. Then when we step back into the bathroom, let me spin around, a couple different things here. One, as far as toilet, it's kind of like what I like to call comfort height, right? That's what they call it in residential. It just means the toilet sits up a little bit higher. Just makes it easier to, get on and off. So if you've had, a hard leg day and it's hard to stand up, well, a little bit higher toilet makes it a little easier. Kind of put your hand here, good to go. But it is a porcelain bowl, so it's easy to clean. You can see over to this side, that stainless steel sink. Up top, mirrored medicine cabinet, everything you need. I like the fact that both the towel ring and your toilet paper holder are already installed, just because, it makes it nice and easy. You don't have to worry about where it goes. It's already there for you. Another thing is your water heater controller. The main reason I want to point this out, though, is the fact that this one does utilize a tankless water heater. So cool thing about that is if you're in here taking a shower, that is instant hot water and it's continuous. So you can just keep feeding water. You can just stay in here. That's one of the kind of more recent things, right? The past couple of years, the RV manufacturers started putting in, because a lot of times you would have a 6 or 10 gallon water heater in your RV. Well, at home, chances are you have a 40 gallon or larger. 40 or 50 gallon are the two most common sizes in homes. So they went with the continuous hot water, the instant hot water, and it makes so much more sense for so many different applications. That way you can shower back to back and be able to take a decent shower, not have to do, what my dad always called the military shower. We would kind of get wet, then you would shut the shower off, then you would take your soap and lather up, turn the water back on, shower real quick and turn it back off, right? So your total water run time was like a minute and a half, if even that. But that's how we had to do it. When we were RVing growing up, that's just kind of what you did. Now, you're good to go. Coming across the top of this entire slide out is awesome storage. And the cool thing about this, folks, it's easy one-hand operation thanks to the struts. And again, that's across that entire slide. Right here is the Dream Style dinette, seatbelt on both sides for a couple additional riders. That drops down nice and easily for a bed, and you have easy access storage. Now, it's not the biggest storage in the world, but it is very easy to get to. Right over to this side is our jackknife sofa. Again, we have 2 more seatbelts here, additional pair of cup holders just like we had in the table. And the great thing about a jackknife is the storage you get underneath. So even though there's seatbelts, you still have plenty of storage under there. One other thing I do want to mention, if you take a look up top, you'll see that there are USB ports here, not just electrical outlets. The great thing about that, folks, is the fact that as you're traveling down the road, these 12-volt USB ports will still function, right? The 120 won't unless you have shore power or a generator running, but the 12-volt will. So you can plug your cell phone, your tablet, whatever, right into there, and as you're going down the road, you can still have those powered charging up, which is great. Right up above the cab is a bed, folks. 500-pound weight capacity on here, which is phenomenal. Now I'm going to drop it down just a little bit just to show you. Just so you know, when you raise or lower this, you do generally want to have shore power or the generator running. The reason is you want to make sure you have max voltage running to it so that the motors on both sides are running at the same speed, right? But I just want to kind of show you right up top here, because this is pretty great, the fact you have a mattress. You can make that bed and then just leave it right up there. And 500-pound weight capacity. And the thing I love about it is that's extra sleeping capacity that's hidden. It's tucked away. Even if you don't use it, when you go to sell it, the next person that buys it might want it, right? And so I love that that is there. You'll see the storage across the top here as well. If you take a look over on the driver's side there, you will see the fact this one has auto level, so you can touch a button to level everything out. Super simple and easily. Plenty of space here, very comfortable seating, lots of leg room. Nice big dash. That's it. The new one right here is the touch screen on the dash. That's pretty darn easy to see. And again, it is touchscreen, very easy to use. You can see it is Sirius XM ready. Also has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which I know a lot of people really enjoy. And if you little workstation, boom, fold that out, you're good to go. You have 12 volt, you have 120 down there, a couple different options for running that. Again, you have the composite right up front, so it's not gonna get dirty, and if it does, if it gets scuffed, you can just wipe it up, clean it up, super simple. Plenty of cup holders, and that right there is where that table we saw earlier, that's where it'll go. So you can swivel both of these around and be able to utilize that table. And as we come outside, folks, you have a lot of great features out here too, right? This one is built on the Ford F53 chassis. Right here in the mirrors, you can see that you have this side view camera, so that way it'll help cover your blind spots. So as you're driving down the road, turn the blinker on, you will see what is on either side of you, depending if you turn on your right or left blinker. Taking a look up top, you will notice the power awning up there. I love this power awning because if you see where it's black right there, that's actually a UV protectant. It's a coating because the number one place your awning will fail is right where it connects to the RV. You'll start to get little pinholes because the UV breaks that material down. But this actually helps protect that, which will help lengthen the life of your awning. You'll also notice the LED light strip right there underneath. Beautiful frameless windows here. Outside TV with your sound bar, and that of course will be underneath that awning, so you can set up all your chairs right here and just hang out, watch TV. Another thing I love about Class A's, folks, as we saw on the Georgetown as well, is storage, storage, storage. Now, we don't necessarily have the double opening doors, right? We have, a little bit of framing right in between, but you can see how big those storage compartments are. And those are all roto-cast, so that, again, you can take a hose, be able to wash all those out. You have the drain plugs right there. You'll also see they're lit, right? Any place we have a storage compartment on the Freedom Traveler, it will also be lit. Then as we make our way to the very back, open this guy up. I do want to talk about this, because they do a lot of things on the back end, on the maintenance side, that really makes life easy. And you can't really see it right now, but a lot of times the hydraulic lines there, everything will be color coded, so it's easy to work on. You can see the propane quick connect right there. Everything for the slide control will be located right there, and again, it is lit. They just do an excellent job all around. Folks, if you're looking to get into a Class A, you want something that's not going to break the budget, this right here is an excellent option. This is the Freedom Traveler A27, starting at $109,995, and all you have to do is text the word RV to 46642.